Canada thought he could push Washington around again, and Mark Carney stormed in, demanding a special lumber deal, like how the U.S. somehow owed him one.
So, Canada is in chaos right now. A nationwide teacher strike. Yep, another one is bringing the country to its knees. Schools shut down, parents furious, students sitting at home doing nothing while politicians point fingers. And you've got Mark Carney, the man who's supposed to be the steady hand, the cool-headed leader, standing there completely stunned. The guy who was supposed to fix things? He looks more lost than ever. Meanwhile, Donald Trump warned them. He told them plain and simple. If you don't protect your people, your jobs, and your borders, your country will fall apart. And here we are. Now, what's really happening? The truth is, this teacher strike is just the latest in a long list of problems that Canada's been ignoring for years. Inflation through the roof, jobs disappearing, taxes squeezing the life out of the middle class. And now, tens of thousands of support staff at colleges across Ontario are walking off the job because they're tired of being treated like garbage. They're sick of watching bureaucrats and college presidents pocket big salaries while cutting the very people who keep these institutions alive. It's a mess, and it's one that Carney helped create. Christine Kelsey, chair of the OPSU and SIPO college support bargaining team, laid it all out. She said the colleges flat out refuse to negotiate. They're cutting jobs left and right. Over 10,000 gone just this past year. And the presidents of these colleges, they don't care. They want total control. They want to keep the power to fire anyone they want, whenever they want, and call it budget management. And while they're crying poor, saying the union's demands would cost $900 million, the truth is they're exaggerating to justify gutting the workforce. They're making up numbers to protect their own pockets. Think about it. 10,000 jobs gone in a single year. That's not just a statistic. Those are real people. Cafeteria workers, administrative staff, techs, maintenance guys, the folks who actually make the colleges run. The ones who open the doors, fix the systems, keep the lights on. Those jobs aren't extra. They're essential. And yet, the people in charge are acting like they're disposable. The big problem here is mismanagement. Canada's public colleges are being starved while private institutions are raking in cash. Money that should go to public education is being handed to private training centers, often owned by the same crowd of political insiders who've been milking the system for decades. Sound familiar? It's the same story you see every time a country forgets who it's supposed to serve. The elites feed themselves, and everyone else gets crumbs. And where's Carney in all this? Nowhere to be found. He's sitting up in his ivory tower, smiling for cameras, pretending he's in control. The truth is, he's not leading, he's managing decline. He's not trying to fix Canada's problems. He's trying to cover them up. That's what globalists do. They don't lead nations. They run them into the ground and then say, well, it's complicated. But here's the thing. Trump saw this coming from a mile away. He said it over and over. When you let bureaucrats and weak leaders take control, they will destroy your country from the inside. And that's exactly what's happening north of the border. While Trump fought to bring jobs back, to rebuild manufacturing, to stand up for American workers, Carney's out there cutting jobs, slashing pay, and letting entire campuses shut down. Just look at Georgian College in Aurelia. They just announced it's closing down in 2026. Imagine that, an entire campus gone. And the students? They found out practically overnight. No warning, no plan, just sorry, we're done. What kind of leadership is that? What kind of message does that send to a generation already struggling to find their footing? It says, we've given up. And the thing that really gets me, Carney and his people keep saying, there's no money. No money? Are you kidding me? Canada has billions going into foreign aid, billions into climate pledges, billions wasted on bloated bureaucracy. But when it comes to saving the jobs of hardworking Canadians, suddenly the wallet slams shut. It's not that they don't have money, it's that they don't have priorities. They care more about looking good at global conferences than taking care of their own people. Trump warned about this kind of leadership. He said, a country that doesn't take care of its own citizens first is not a country. It's a charity. And that's exactly what we're seeing in Canada. The Ford government could step in, fund the colleges properly, and protect these jobs. But they won't. They're too busy playing politics. They'd rather blame global economic conditions than take responsibility. Now, you and I know what's really happening here. This isn't about money. It's about control. The same bureaucrats who shut down your small businesses during lockdowns, who told you what you could and couldn't say online, are now deciding which jobs matter and which don't. They think they're untouchable. They think they can rule without consequence. And the worst part? There's no accountability. These college presidents are acting like kings. No oversight, no checks, no one to answer to. They can fire thousands of workers, and still collect bonuses. That's not leadership. That's tyranny in a suit and tie. You know, when I talk to older Americans who remember what real leadership looked like, guys who lived through Reagan, who saw what it meant to fight for your country, they tell me the same thing. We used to have leaders who cared about us. And they're right. We used to have men who believed that government worked for the people, not the other way around. Trump brought that back. He didn't just talk about it. He lived it. He put Americans first, and he showed what strong leadership can look like. Now, imagine if Canada had that kind of leader right now. Someone who wasn't afraid to get tough, to make hard decisions, to call out the nonsense. Someone who stood up for the working class instead of bowing to bureaucrats. If Canada had a Trump, this strike would have never happened. The jobs would have been protected, the colleges funded, and the people respected. Instead, they've got Carney, an empty suit with a smile, too busy polishing his image to care about the country collapsing beneath him. And make no mistake, this isn't just about education. This is about the future of Canada. When your education system starts crumbling, when your workers start walking off the job, that's not a small problem. That's a signal that your entire foundation is cracking. It's the canary in the coal mine. You can't build a strong country when the people who make it work are underpaid, ignored, and tossed aside. So what happens next? Christine Kelsey says they're going to keep pushing, keep fighting to bring the colleges back to the table. They're not giving up, but they can't do it alone. They need Canadians to wake up, to realize that this isn't just another strike. It's a wake-up call. It's a moment where the people have to decide. Do you keep trusting these elites who have failed you time and time again? Or do you stand up, organize, and demand real leadership? Because here's the thing. Change doesn't come from the top anymore. It comes from the ground up. Look at what's happening right now. Students, teachers, parents, ordinary citizens. They're banding together, saying enough. That's where the power is. That's what the establishment fears. They can ignore a few voices, but they can't ignore a movement. And if Canadians want their country back, that's exactly what it's going to take. A movement. A movement of people who are tired of being silenced, tired of being ignored, tired of being told that they just have to accept the new normal. Well, the new normal is unacceptable. Carney and his friends might think they've got everything under control, but the truth is the people are waking up. You can feel it. You can see it in every protest, every strike, every parent demanding answers. The fire's still there. It just needs to be focused. So, to the folks up north, if you're watching this, remember something: you deserve better. You deserve a leader who fights for you, not one who hides when things get tough. Trump showed the world what that looks like. And maybe, just maybe, it's time for Canada to find its own version of that. Someone who's not afraid to stand up, call out corruption, and say enough is enough. Because if they don't, this chaos, the strikes, the shutdowns, the layoffs, it's just the beginning. And a nation that loses control of its schools, its workers, and its people loses everything. So wake up, Canada. The clock's ticking.